All right, what is the equation that relates frequency to wavelength? So you've seen this equation before. It's V equals F lambda. And just to remind you what each of the things are in case you've forgotten, V is velocity of the wave. F is frequency. Just put it in the top tray there. And the Greek letter lambda is wavelength. Okay, so in the past, when we've solved this, what we've used for V is the speed of sound, right? Which was 340 through the air, 1,500 through water, and so on and so forth. So we just used whatever the speed of the wave was. But we're using a very specific wave now, and the wave we're using is light. And light has a very specific speed. The speed of light is symbol c. So c is the symbol for speed of light. And that value is 3 times 10 to the 8th meters per second. So here's kind of a standard question that I would ask you. What is the frequency of light that has a wavelength of 1,070 times 10 to the negative 9th meters? So wavelengths are going to be very, very, very small for light. They're going to be very tiny. So times 10 to the negative 9th is not a surprising value. Okay? So what's the wavelength? What's the frequency of that wave of light? So what you do is you set up your equation, V equals F lambda. But we're talking about light, so the value we're using for light is C. So it's really C equals F lambda. But the value we're going to plug in for V is 3 times 10 to the 8th. Equals F times the wavelength, which is 1,070 times 10 to the negative 9th. Okay, so plugging it in. So there are two ways to plug it in. You can plug it in using scientific notation, or you can just plug the numbers in using parentheses. So if you use scientific notation, different calculators are going to plug it in differently. So for example, my calculator uses an EE button to do scientific notation. This calculator uses an EXP button to do scientific notation. At this point, you either remember how to do scientific notation or you don't. If you don't, you should put it in parentheses. And here's how I do it. So to get F by itself, I'm going to have to divide both sides by 1070 times 10 to the negative 9th. So that cancels from this side. So we got F is 3 times 10 to the 8th over 1070 times 10 to the negative 9th. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it in exactly the way it looks, but I have to use parentheses. So I do parentheses 3 times 10 power 8 in parentheses divided by parentheses 1070 times 10 power negative 9 in parentheses equals, and you should get this number, 2.8 times 10 to the 14th. Go ahead and plug it into your calculator. Make sure that you're getting this answer. If you are not getting this answer, let me know so I can help you out and make sure that you have it. Because again, it's really easy to make simple mistakes, even though the math itself is not complicated. So I want to make sure that you're able to get it and get the correct value.